Hello folks, welcome to Saving Miller. So, I wanted to give you my honest opinion about this dishwasher and do a bit of a review so that you guys can see what our experience has been. We've had this thing for 6 months, we use it every day, and I think that there's some important things that I can point out that will be helpful for you. So first, we chose this dishwasher primarily for the color because it matches the fridge, and that was a mistake. And we knew that was a terrible way to choose a dishwasher, but honestly that's kind of the way it went, and then the price was reasonable, I guess, at the time. So that's really why we selected this one, and just don't do that. That was a terrible idea, really. We've had other dishwashers and we know what a good dishwasher should act like. So let's talk about the pros, the things we like about it. We'll talk about the cons, the things we don't like about it. Then we'll talk about the value proposition at the end. Basically, you know, is it worth the money? Do I recommend it? And so forth. So the pros, yes, we love this color actually. We've got a 3-year-old and she touches everything, you know, from here down, all over the place, walls, everything, constantly touching things. It's actually fairly dirty right now. It needs to be cleaned, but no fingerprints. And that's pretty cool. So the finish on here, I really, really like. Also, the design, it's great. Just nice, clean, simple. The handle is nice, a nice positive handle, but it doesn't stick out here where you're bumping it constantly. So that's a really, really nice. Another thing that we really like is the control panel up here. The control panel is concealed, but because of the small space here, you can actually see in there and see how much time is left. It works quite nicely. So we do like that part of it a lot. Also, because of kids, if you have kids, it is nice to have that out of the way because they can't see it. So they're not trying to push the buttons. Next thing that we do like about it, these racks are pretty good. They roll in and out really easily. It doesn't have, you know, some of them have they try slides and things like that. These just have wheels, so they roll out quite nicely. Very easy. These things are fantastic. Very adaptable. I left some stuff in here so you can kind of see how it looks. You can open it up, put larger things in there. So the bottom rack is kind of okay, but I don't like the angle of these. It's a constant struggle to get plates in there at a good angle. You know, you want to angle them down a little bit so that the jets can contact it. The top one is not really remarkable. It works. We'll look at that a little bit later. This one does not have any kind of water treatment or anything like that, so it's fairly simple. The rinse aid does seem to last for quite a while. That's nice. And this actually stays clean. You know, some of these start to gum up and get all nasty. It stays clean. So that's good. That's pretty much it for the pros. We like the color, the layout, the design of the front is good, and the drawers are nice. Now let's talk about the cons. This list is going to be a little bit longer. Okay, so first, oh, I'm sorry, hold on. Let's go back. Another big pro is that this thing is really quiet. So there is another model out there that has a lower decibel rating. This one, I believe, if I remember correctly, is rated for 48 decibels. There's another model that costs about $300 more, I think, and it has a lower decibel rating, a lower noise rating in the low 40s or something like that. I would say don't waste your money on the quieter one. This thing is actually quite quiet. If you're not paying attention, you don't know that it's running. So very quiet, really like that. Okay, now I did look at some of the reviews online to see if we are experiencing similar things to other people. So let's get into the cons of this thing. So first, I mentioned this as a pro because it's simple, but having a water treatment option on your dishwasher is actually quite helpful. Most people don't have very good water quality, so there are just water spots everywhere. Our water is not too bad, but we have had one that had water treatment, and this one does not. So it would be nice if it did. The next con that is really kind of a big deal for us is that there's no way to clean food particles other than like tearing it apart down here. There's no good screen to capture larger particles. So if you tend to have a lot of chunks and stuff left on the dishes, that's going to be a problem. And I really, really dislike that. You have to pull this all apart and clean things out. Very, very unfortunate. The storm wash probably does work, but it's so odd, and like, I guess you put one pot over it. They make a big deal about the storm wash, but it doesn't seem to do a whole lot, honestly. So let's see. This one is a little bit hard to see, so I'm going to bring you in so you can see what I'm talking about here. So now that we're in here, you can see the little pipe right there. Now that thing plugs into the back of the top drawer right here. And there's a couple of washers and stuff in there, so when this thing is closed, it has an arm here that goes around to clean the dishes on the top. I don't know how well that actually works. It's a little bit hard to tell because it's inside, it's all closed up, you can't see it. But I just know from an engineering perspective, while that is effective, long term, that's not going to be great. And it's going to lose its effectiveness over the long term. Another thing that we thought was really cool when we were looking at it is this third tray. Now, I don't know what it is, but we literally don't use it. Like, we forgot that was in there, I think. It's probably gone through 20 washes. We just simply don't use it, even though I think it probably would work okay. But I think if you put much in here, it's going to shield the bottom one from getting cleaned there. Now, the next thing we don't like about it, and the reason that I put these dishes in here, it's really hard to stack bowls like this. It just doesn't work well. It's so frustrating. Do you go like this? Do you go like this? You know, and then you put the next one there, and if you overlap it too much, it just doesn't work. Glasses, there's plenty of room, so that's nice, but they also don't fit well because this bottom is all angled. It's not flat or anything like that, so glasses don't sit well anywhere. Like, it just falls over. And to me, that's very frustrating. It's just kind of unnecessary. So, the biggest con, the one that everyone talks about, is the poor cleaning quality. So, honestly, it doesn't clean very well at all. Certainly not to the level that you would expect from an $800 dishwasher. Like I said, we've had others, and it cleaned much better than this thing does. The one thing it does clean well is the spoons and utensils that you put in here. That actually, I think, works quite well. But having food come out on the dishes is actually a pretty common thing. So I think the complaints online are spot on. It just doesn't clean very well. So that gives you an overview of it. I think it's probably pretty durable. It seems like most of the components are designed well. I think it'll last a reasonable amount of time. Probably similar to any other dishwasher that's in this price range. I wouldn't expect any kind of fantastic performance. So now, let's talk about price. So currently, the full retail price is $809 from various retailers, and that's the online price. We didn't pay that much. We bought it from Lowe's at a discount. They had an appliance sale this past winter, And so I feel like we got it for a price that was probably a fair value. I think it was around 30% off. I would not recommend paying full price for this dishwasher at all. And in fact, I would not buy it again. The reason that we bought it, like I mentioned, was because we wanted this color, and it does perform well, but the rest of it, what the dishwasher is actually supposed to do, wash dishes, it's weak. It's pretty weak. So I would say think long and hard before you buy this one. There's probably better ones out there for the same money, but you're probably honestly better off buying a more expensive model that actually works better. So that's my conclusion. Don't buy this one. I think it's going to get replaced when we redo our kitchen. We were hoping to keep the appliances, like buy new appliances now, because the ones that were here were really old and terrible. But I don't see this thing lasting too long. Maybe I don't use it too much. You know, I put dishes in and I take them out sometimes. My Mrs. Farmer, of course, uses it more than I do, and so maybe she has a different opinion. But I think we pretty much have reached the same conclusion on this thing. Like I said, the pros, it's quiet, it looks good, good design as far as the user interface. The cons, it doesn't clean well, the racks are poorly designed, and it just doesn't seem to work real well on the inside. So there you have it. Hopefully you'll have a better dishwasher experience than we have. I wouldn't say it's terrible, but I'm not that impressed. So I hope this provides value for you. Till next time, Saving Miller out.